Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to give you my MLB DraftKings picks for Monday, August 28th. We got a 10-game main slate on for this Monday. Before we get started, I want to let you guys know, one of my friends, he's actually starting up a YouTube channel. He's going to be making a lot of gaming videos, and his channel is mostly going to be related to gaming. But I believe he's also going to be doing some unboxing videos, and just kind of stuff like that. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, be sure to check him out. I will put his link in the description. Be sure to go subscribe to him just after you get done watching this video, or before we get started with the breakdown. Be sure to check him out, show him some love, leave a like on his vid, subscribe to him. I know he's going to be very active. I believe he's going to try and upload just about every day. So if you guys are into gaming videos, I believe it's mostly going to be like Call of Duty, some Assassin's Creed, stuff like that. Be sure to check him out. His link will be in the description, and be sure to subscribe to him. I know he will really appreciate it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started looking at this slate. So we got a 10-game slate today on this Monday. Pitching today, it's pretty nice up top. We have 3 guys over 10K, but the sort of the value tier, I think the value tier really bad today, and the mid tier not really loaded either. I only see about 2 or 3 guys I would really like at the mid tier, but we definitely had the studs today. We got Corey Kluber, Luis Severino, Aaron Nola, and Max Scherzer. He is also pitching on this slate as well, but for some reason he's just not listed in the player pool. I believe his price is like 14K. He's going up against the Marlins at home. So we actually have 4 guys over 10K pitching today. And I do like one of these guys. I definitely think you are going to want to pay for pitcher today. I just don't see a lot of mid-range and value options that have a ton of upside. These studs like Corey Kluber, Max Scherzer, these guys, they have so much upside. If they go off and you don't have them, your night's probably going to be over. So I just recommend paying up for pitcher today. And I'm going to be doing that with Corey Kluber at 13,100, getting a matchup against the Yankees. Really like the spot for Corey Kluber. This guy, he has just been absolutely dominant this year. The swinging strike rate, the strikeout rate, he's pretty much unstoppable. If you're playing cash games today, I definitely think Kluber or Max Scherzer are your go-to options. I would probably play Kluber just because Kluber's $1,000 cheaper, and I do really like that discount. If you just look at Kluber's game log, he's just been so consistent this year. Aside from that one game against KC, which I believe he left that game early with an injury, he's been so solid. You rarely see Kluber like put under 20 DK points. In his last 10 games, 32, 21, 31, 43, 23, 44, 45, 27. Had that down game against 17, or that down game against KC. He left that game early, got 17. But then after that, 33 against Boston. So Kluber, dude's just been absolutely dominant this year. Him and Chris Sale, probably the 2 most dominant pitchers in the majors. So I think Kluber is definitely a guy you can plug in today. I don't know if people will be scared of the matchup against the Yankees. The Yankees do have some good bats, and they are starting to get healthy again, but there are still plenty of strikeouts in that lineup. Aaron Judge, guy's a great power hitter, but the dude strikes out a ton. And going up against Kluber, Kluber's probably going to strike Judge out 3 times. And even guys like Sanchez, Todd Frazier, those guys will strike out a lot against righties. Going up against Corey Kluber, maybe the most dominant right-handed pitcher in the game right now. I think Kluber's your go-to option today. He's already pitched against this Yankees team once this year. Actually pitched a complete game, just totally dominated. Pitched 9 innings, only allowed 1 run, got 11 strikeouts, finished with 44 DraftKings points. So Kluber has already seen this team once this year, done very well against them. I'm expecting another dominant performance from Kluber. And at just 13,100, I definitely think that price tag is reasonable. I was expecting Kluber to be over 14K, just with the way he's produced this year. Getting him at 13,100, I definitely think we can play him at that price. Anytime he steps on the mound, he has 40, sometimes even 50 DK point potential. So Corey Kluber, my SP1 today at 13,100. And then for my SP2, I think the mid-range and value tier are really thin today. Jeff Samardzija is a guy that really stands out to me going up against the Padres, but I don't think you can pay up for a 10K guy and still fit in Samardzija. I just don't think you'll have enough salary. So we are going to have to look towards a value tier for our SP2 since we did play Kluber. And there is a value guy that I do like today. He is very, very cheap, and that's Andrew Heaney at just 5,100, getting a matchup against Oakland. Now, Andrew Heaney, not a guy you're really going to get excited about. Not really a guy that's just going to go out there and dominate, get you 30 DK points. But at 5,100, going up against Oakland, I definitely think we can roster him here as a cheap SP2. I was looking at Vegas lines, and this was one thing that really did catch my eye. Heaney, he is a really nice favorite today at -170. And Oakland, only their run total right now, as I'm recording this video, is at 4.2 runs, which is pretty low. So I think Heaney is in a good spot here. Obviously, this Oakland team, they do strike out a lot versus lefties. They're striking out 23.8% of the time versus left-handed pitching on the year. So I think Andrew Heaney's in a good spot here. And at just 5,100, if we get even 10 DraftKings points from him at 5,100, I will definitely take that given his price tag. And going with him as our cheap SP2 does give us some salary to where we can fit in some expensive bats. There is a Coors Field game today. Jordan Zimmerman's going to be pitching in Coors, so we know we're going to want to get some Rockies bats against him. Jordan Zimmerman, dude, pretty much sucks. The Rockies are definitely in a great spot here. So if we go with Andrew Heaney as our SP2, that does give us some extra salary to where we can fit in some Coors bats and pay up for some more expensive hitters. So I do like Andrew Heaney today as a cheap SP2 that we can target for just 5,100. Hopefully he can get us 10 to 15 DraftKings points. And going up against Oakland, I definitely think he can do that. So if you're looking to go cheap at pitcher, definitely consider Andrew Heaney today. And then for my 3 bats, all 3 of my hitters are going to be from Coors Field. I love this Coors Field game. I think it's going to be very high scoring. We have two pretty bad pitchers pitching in Coors, so we're going to want to get some exposure to that game. Right now, the Rockies total is at 7.1 runs. That's just insane. Jordan Zimmerman, dude's a gas can, so obviously you're going to want to get some Rockies bats. The Tigers bats, their total is pretty high as well at 5.5 runs, and they are very cheap. A lot of cheap bats in this lineup. Pretty much besides Upton, Kinsler, Castellanos, you do have some good value in this lineup. So I'm going to be getting some Tigers exposure in my 5 plays. The first guy I like from the Tigers at first base is Miguel Cabrera for just 3,800, getting a matchup against Senzatella. Really like Mikie today just because he's so cheap and he's going to be hitting in Coors Field. Mikie has definitely had a disappointing year this year, but he's still hitting the ball very hard. I showed you guys his batted ball data last time I recommended him. He was hitting the ball like 40% hard contact. So he's still making a lot of hard contact, hitting line drives. Going to Coors Field, that big outfield, a lot of space in that outfield. So Mikie should be able to put a line drive in that outfield. And with how spacious it is, the ball should be able to find a gap. So I do really like this spot for Miguel Cabrera. Senzatella is definitely a guy we can pick on when he is in Coors Field. He has really struggled in Coors this year. If you just look at his home and road splits, at home this year, he's posted a 1.69 home run per 9, whereas on the road, only a 0.87 home run per 9. He doesn't really give up a ton of hard contact, but not really a lot of soft contact either. 49% medium contact to lefties and 56% medium contact to righties, so a lot of medium contact, which still isn't something you want. So I do like the Tigers bats here. They're very cheap, like I said. Miguel Cabrera being one of them. I'm going to be looking to get some exposure to the Tigers today with Mikie for just 3,800. And then for my final 2 plays, going to be going to the outfield. One of the stud plays I really like today, my favorite play on this slate, and then a value play I like. The first guy I like, the stud play, is Charlie Blackmon for 5,500, getting a matchup against Jordan Zimmerman. Blackmon is in such a good spot here against Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman has been terrible against lefties this year. So far to left-handed hitters, he's allowed a 382 WOBA, and he also gives up a lot of home runs, a 1.97 home run per 9 to left-handed hitters, and he's also given up a ton of hard contact as well, 42% medium contact and 41% hard contact. So the Rockies, they're in such a good spot here. They're definitely expensive. You are going to have to pay for them. But if you look towards the bottom of the lineup, there are some value bats. Carlos Gonzalez, I think he's been hitting the ball a little bit better lately. Lucroy, decent price at 3.6. Trevor Story, 4K. So there are some guys in this lineup that do have prices that you can definitely work in. But I think you are going to want to get some of the expensive guys, Charlie Blackmon being one of them. The dude just masters right-handed pitching at home in Coors. He has crushed the ball this year. If you just look at the DK splits, at home this year, he's averaged 13 DraftKings points, whereas on the road, he's only averaged 9 DK points, and that is a pretty big difference. So I love Charlie Blackmon here. The guy just has so much upside. He has a ton of power. He'll steal bases. He has great potential here to rack up 20-plus DK points. Going up against Jordan Zimmerman, I definitely could see him doing that. So love Charlie Blackmon today as an expensive play for 5,500. And then for my final play, Going to be going back to Coors Field. Another value play I like in Coors is Mikie Mahtook for 3,900, getting the matchup against Senzatella. Mahtook's a value play I really like today. He is projected to bat second, which is something I really like. Anytime you give me a guy for just 3.9K batting second in Coors Field, I definitely like that for value. So I think if you are looking for a cheap outfield play, you can definitely consider Mahtook today. Just looking to get more exposure to Coors Field. I think that game's going to be very high scoring. You're going to want to get some bats in there. So I do like getting more exposure to the Tigers with a cheap play, Mikie Mahtook for 3,900 in the outfield. And yeah, guys, so these are my 5 plays for tonight. I went with Corey Kluber, Andrew Heaney, Miguel Cabrera, Charlie Blackmon, and Mikie Mahtook. When we go with these 5 guys in our lineup, we're still left with $37.20 per player remaining, which can definitely be worked around on this slate. Like I said, the Tigers' bats are very cheap. Another game I want to get exposure to is Baltimore and Seattle. I think that game's going to be pretty high scoring. Got 2 bad pitchers going in Baltimore, so definitely look to get some Mariners in this lineup. Look to get some Orioles as well. Those are the teams that I'm going to be looking at targeting for my batters today. So you can plug in some hitters from those teams and build a lineup around this 5. Or if you want to get my full lineup, then be sure to follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. My lineups are $5 a day, or you can get a week of lineups for $25. So if you are interested in that, be sure to message me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. Or if you just have any questions about the slate, or you need to ask me something, you can hit me up on Twitter as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. If this is your first time on my channel, please be sure to subscribe. I do upload these videos daily, so I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And after you do subscribe, you'll notice that there is a little bell icon next to the subscribe button. If you click that bell, that will notify you every time I upload. So be sure to do that as well if you never want to miss out on any videos. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Be sure to subscribe to my friend. His link will be down in the description. Show him some love, like his videos, subscribe to his channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.